Pluto was one of the 9 planets recognized to our solar system. But in 2021, it was relegated to the official status of dwarf planet by the International Astronomical Union, IAU. It will bring into clear focus once more what is, and what isn't, meant by the term planet. Moods may also have an effect on how information is processed, by influencing the extent to which judges rely on pre-existing internal information, or focus on new, external information. Positive moods recruit more stimulus-driven and bottom-up processing. Ever since I remembered, my father woke up at 5:30 every morning, made us all breakfast, and read the newspaper. After that, he would go to work. He worked as a writer. It was a long time before I realized he did this for a living. A young man from a small provincial town, a man without independent wealth, without powerful family connections and without a university education, moves to London in the late 1580s and, in a remarkably short time, becomes the greatest playwright of all time. How was this achievement of magnitude made? How does Shakespeare become Shakespeare? Akimbo. This must be one of the odder-looking words in the language and puzzles us in part because it doesn't seem to have any relatives. What's more, it is now virtually a fossil word. Until recently almost invariably found in arms akimbo, a posture in which a person stands with hands on hips and elbows sharply bent outward, one signaling impatience, hostility, or contempt. Yellow is the most optimistic color, yet surprisingly, people lose their tempers most often in yellow rooms and babies cry more. The reason may be that yellow is the hardest color on the eye. So it can be overpowering if overused. How do we imagine the unimaginable? If we are asked to think of an object, say, a yellow tulip, a picture immediately forms in our mind's eye. But what if we try to imagine a concept such as the square root of a negative number? For the purposes of argument, culture is divided into material and non-material, and the speaker's aim is to show how they both affect each other. Material developments in tools and technology can affect non-material culture, our customs and beliefs, and the other way around. Genetics is used as an example as it has changed the way we think about life, but also our beliefs have affected its rate of development. Introvert, or those of us with introverted tendencies, tends to recharge by spending time alone. They lose energy from being around people for long periods of time, particularly large crowds. Extroverts, on the other hand, gain energy from other people. Extroverts actually find their energy is sapped when they spend too much time alone. They recharge by being social. If bonuses or incentive pay schemes work so well for chief executives and bankers, why does everyone not get them? After all, many jobs involve making important decisions or taking risks. Is there anything about the corporate decision and financial risks that makes these categories of work special in terms of how they need to be incentivized and rewarded? How quickly is the world's population growing? In the United States and other developed countries, the current growth rate is very low. In most developing countries, the human population is growing at a rate of 3 people per second. Because of this bustling growth rate, the human population is well on its way to reaching 9 billion within a lifetime. Augustus was given the powers of an absolute monarch, but he presented himself as the preserver of republican traditions. He treated the Senate, or State Council, with great respect, and was made consul year after year. He successfully reduced the political power of the army by retiring many soldiers but giving them land or money to keep their loyalty. As to the Industrial Revolution, one cannot dispute today the fact that it has succeeded in inaugurating in a number of countries a level of mass prosperity which was undreamt of in the days preceding the Industrial Revolution. But, on the immediate impact of the Industrial Revolution, there were substantial divergences among writers. Solar energy is an excellent source of supplying power to homes and companies, and by utilizing solar power you're not merely protecting the environment from becoming polluted but also you are saving the rest of the Earth's natural resources. Capturing solar energy does not contribute to any pollution and does not harm the atmosphere. One of the factors why many individuals are still hesitant to make use of solar power is because it is expensive. The need for a large location of space is another reason why people aren't taking solar power into consideration. In classes, your teachers will talk about topics that you are studying. The information that they provide will be important to know when you take tests. You must be able to take good written notes from what your teacher says. This is what needs to happen on climate change. The world needs to put a price on carbon emissions and let the market respond. If politicians pretend this can be done without pain, it will probably result in another 5 to 10 years of pretending to take action.